All right, somebody was at game number 1 of the second round of the NHL playoffs. We normally talk basketball, and we are going to talk basketball, but I need to know from Brenden Whitted at HU Cosell, basketball guru. That's what it says, basketball guru. What was it like being in the building as the Hurricanes were stealing home ice advantage away from the Washington Capitals?
So that was my first NHL playoff game in person.
Okay.
And I'm not sure I've ever been in a place that was that loud, that consistently, and had that kind of energy throughout. That's a long time to keep your energy up.
Yep.
And those Caps fans were excited. They were extremely excited. And first period, we dwarfed their shots on goal. We controlled the puck, but LT was just stopping absolutely everything. And you could hear them get more and more excited and get more and more confident. And then they get a quick one in period 2. Everybody erupts.
Yeah,
like that place was loud. I had my Apple Watch on, so you get that loud environment notification. I got that one for a while after that, and it felt like it was crushing because I'm the only Canes fan there. First off, so
right,
like I'm sitting there. Everybody goes the jubilation. I crumpled in my seat, and then we get a quick one. Just out of nowhere, and suddenly, while the energy's still there, then it's anxious energy, right? Like then it's all time. We head into overtime, and the you could have probably heard me over the microphones when we hit that OT goal because it was silent in there. Everybody who had been just chirping and doing the whole thing, and because by that time everybody knows who I'm rooting for. So like everybody's got, you kind of getting a little fake fist bumps and high fives after the score. Like, all right, cool. Silence. I have never felt better as people filed out of a stadium. Just yelling, let's go. It damn near echoed in there. That's how quiet it was. It was great. I couldn't have asked for a better experience. I mean, that was 10 out of 10 no notes, man, for real.
That was being the road fan, right? Yeah. Even it's home for you, but being the road fan in that kind of a situation is when your team wins is next level great. Real quick story, and this goes back now over 20 years. Maryland won the national championship in 2002. I really stopped being a fan. Legitimately stopped being a fan by 2004. I was done with it. Got my title in 2002, and I'm good. But Maryland, the year after they blew that game in College Park to Duke, they come down. It actually might have been that same year. I'm trying to remember. Terrence Morris was on that team. They come down to Cameron Indoor Stadium, and a really good friend of mine who I knew, who's the editor of Baltimore Magazine, and we spent a ton of time together when I was working in Baltimore, and she's a huge Terps fan. So I was like, if you come down, I'll take us to the game. So we sat behind one of the baskets upstairs, and we're walking in. She goes, do we have a chance tonight? And I look, at this point, I was a Maryland fan still.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, we're going to win the game tonight. We're just the team to be. Now, that Maryland team was legit. It was Dixon's sophomore year, not his junior year, not his senior year. Senior year, they won the title. Sophomore year, so it was the year before. It was 2000. And they came in here, and Juan Dixon put on a show. I think Danny Miller anyway, it was wild to see how quiet it got at Cameron. But that was probably the only time oh my gosh. As a fan, I mean, I never go to games as a fan. I can't remember the last time I went to a game as a fan, other than like take my kids to a hockey game. All right, let's get to hoops. Knicks lead the series 2-1. Is it over? Has Boston already advanced?
No. No, they haven't. Crumple Jumper had this stat. The Knicks have only led that series for 19% of the time, right? And so yes, if you're a Celtics fan, you can hang your hat on the fact you've had at least a 20-point lead in all 3 games. But here's something that we don't talk about enough. Celtics do this. They did it last year when they won the title. There would be games where they'd be up 20-plus points, and then they just kind of get bored. They start taking bad shots. Yeah. they just look disinterested because they know how talented they are, right? Like they know that if they are really cooking, they have the 3-point shooting, they have the individual talent, and they have the defense to like blow any team away. But there will be times when you think, oh, they're going to step on their neck. And they didn't. They didn't last year when they won the title, and they haven't this year. They just kind of, they can kind of meander. So while it is statistically improbable that they've had these leads and lost, it is kind of going to their character. Like, I think that the Celtics will even it up, but by no means am I like, 100%. I completely trust Tatum. I completely trust Mazzulla. No, I don't. Like, this team is flawed, right? That was what I liked about last year's team. They were flawed, and they found a way to kind of do it anyway. And they were good in the regular season. They were good in the regular season this year, but they are still that sort of flawed and can fall in love with some bad shots and get in trouble when they really don't need to. But that's who they are, and we gotta admit who they are, and they will let anybody back into any game at any time.
I would bet the Celtics in 6 right now. Now, here's the thing about it. Because
you probably get good odds on that.
I probably would. The Celtics' MO last year was win game 1, probably handily, and then snooze in game 2, give that one away, and then finish out the series. When they blew game 1, there's no way they're going to blow game 2. And they did. I mean, the Knicks won. They scored 91 points and won a basketball game on the road in the playoffs. That is, what year is this? Is this 1994?
There have been some rock fights in this postseason, man. There have been some not great back. Like even Jalen Brunson, who has been phenomenal in the fourth quarter, he's only shot 38-40% for the series. There have been some just weird outcomes for this thing that it's come down to the fourth quarter a lot of times, and the Celtics just kind of throwing up on themselves a little bit. Yeah. But it's also been the Knicks just being better offensively. They get into some weird one-on-one stuff. They'll have Cat coming out from 30 feet trying to dribble against a wing. Like there's some bad process stuff that goes on with their offense, but if you let them hang around, he was the best fourth quarter player in the league. And if you play with that fire, you will get burned occasionally.
Is it fair to say the Knicks are a tougher team than Boston?
It's hard for me to gauge.
They're not
toughness.
better, but there's got to be a reason they won twice.
I don't think that they're more talented.
No, they're definitely not.
The Knicks seem to find a way to still hang around in games that otherwise the Celtics should have put away. And if that's toughness, I guess I assign a level of toughness to winning a championship. I will give you plus 10 on the toughness meter if you win a championship, because you got to go through 82 games and then you got to go through injury. You also you have to be a little lucky to win a championship too, as it pertains to injury, as Cleveland is probably about to find out. If you lose your guy, then you're just kind of cooked, right? Like once Brunson went down last year, the Knicks it's not the same team. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. But the Celtics have proven with this squad they can win. And I give any team that's able to win a championship in the NBA, because it's a marathon, certainly not a sprint, you got to have a level of toughness. I just think that the Knicks have muddied up the game enough, and the Celtics have taken some poor enough shots on the offensive end that they've let the Knicks hang around, and then they've just taken their cookies. Yeah,
when Celtics win tonight by, I don't know, it might not be, the spread might not ultimately be, 10, 12, something like that. I think they're going to be comfortably in front throughout. Brenden Whitted, our basketball guru, is joining us here at HU Cosell on Twitter. Real quick to the other game tonight. It's easy to say Golden State's cooked without Steph. I don't know how you look at it. I know that Minnesota's not clicking on all cylinders either, but they do seem to be a defensive match for Golden State. So how do you see the rest of this playing? Minnesota's got a 2-1 lead.
I don't think you'll have a better Kuminga game for the series. You know what I mean? Like, he was really, really good. Mm-hmm. The thing that really hurts them, obviously you lose Curry, you lose the best shooter of all time, but it's more than that, because you have to change your entire offense, which is what they do once he leaves, right? Because he is not just the gravity he creates, it's also how everybody else responds off of that. So now Draymond Green setting that dribble handoff, it's not as scary with Jimmy Butler, because he's probably not going to pull that three. I thought they should have run more stuff for Buddy Hield off ball and has a little bit more off ball action for him. Him trying to generate looks for himself off the dribble That's not where he needs to live, right? You want Jimmy to be the one that's creating, but you want him to be able to. You want Buddy to be able to put pressure because he is that kind of a shooter. He's a guy that can shoot off the catch and shoot. He can dribble handoffs. He can shoot in movement. Those sorts of things he can certainly do. Creating is not something he can do. They are bereft of that. And I think that's why they needed Kuminga, because he can do a little bit of that. His handle isn't great, but his athleticism kind of makes up for it. They finally have found a role for him. Sucks that has to happen without Curry. I think they're going to lose the series because I don't think I'm not sure Curry would be back if it went 7. Like the way that they're kind of talking about some of this stuff, I'm not sure. Those soft tissue injuries are just calves, hamstring, just awful. You know what I mean? Like it's tough. I think they're done, but I appreciate the fight. I know Jimmy Butler's got to be thinking like, damn, I just left Miami for this exact same reason, and now I found myself with the Golden State Heat. But it's unfortunate, but, again, getting lucky. Sometimes you got to get lucky because I think if Curry stays healthy, I think they would have beaten this Minnesota team.
All right, we'll close on Giannis. Whether or not he leaves Milwaukee. I mean, if I'm Milwaukee, I'm certainly going to explore and see if I can't. He won me a title. It's not like we didn't win a title. So they cashed in on the unique stardom of Giannis. You hate to lose somebody like that, but which is the team that's going to give Milwaukee enough in return to get him?
I think it's going to be Miami. I think that they're tired of looking on the outside end with these free agents. They've been close to a lot of guys. They were close to Donovan Mitchell. They were close to this Kevin Durant. They've been close a lot, and they're a team that has had success getting those sorts of free agents, or either free agents or trades. They've had that success. And it's a destination sort of place, right? Like there's a lot of teams that just based off where you are, if you're Utah Jazz, folks is not going to want to play there. If you're the Charlotte Hornets, like it's time and time again, it is proven that nobody wants to go to Charlotte. Maybe Flagg will, depending on how today goes.
It wouldn't be his choice, right?
But it wouldn't be his choice. You got to go. You have to be ordered by Adam Silver to go somewhere, right? Like so, Miami is one of those places, and Giannis has had some sort of relationship there previously. That it wouldn't surprise me, and I think they're going to be willing to throw the kitchen sink and not be so concerned about trying to build guys, heat culture, and trying to keep guys in the building. I think they have enough future assets, enough young talent there with enough vets there that they're going to make the best pitch that they can, and I don't think they're going to be so concerned about what's left in the cupboard afterwards.
It would be good to see Miami be a factor again, and then Jimmy Butler can want to go back at some point. Basketball guru Brenden Whitted, Hurricanes fan in D.C. at HU Cosell. I don't know if you're going to Game 5, but I'll check in anyway. I appreciate your time, man.
Absolutely, man. Look forward to it, bro.
You got it.